The Takeout Effect with Banki. The Takeout Effect brings real conversations in business.
Welcome to the Takeout Effect, brought to you by Business Takeout. The Takeout Effect brings real conversations in business. I'm your host, and my name is Banki. The Takeout Effect is brought to you by Business Takeout. Business Takeout recognizes Black wealth through business education. Our mission is to increase Black wealth and empower Black entrepreneurs. Today, we have an amazing guest, two guests, a mother and her daughter, and they had founded a business together called KiddieNomics. And it's really about empowering financial literacy to kids. It's a great way that parents can get involved. I will definitely go more in details on it. Um, let's welcome Stacy and Miki. Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
Hi, Miki.
Hi. Thank you for having us on.
Thank you. So we're going to go into so much about your journey onto entrepreneurship. We're going to go through your journey. We're going to talk about the financial background, how it all started, and how parents can get involved in this wonderful entrepreneurship journey that you're both are on. Before we do that, we're going to get a message from our sponsor. Our sponsor today is Banki Designs, and Banki Designs is a graphic and web design and also social media content creation agency in Toronto. Let's hear a message from our sponsor. Okay, we're back. Stacy, Miki, how are you guys feeling today?
Great, thank you.
That's good. So we're gonna start off with just understanding your for Stacy your financial history. So I know that you've worked as a mortgage agent. You've been on a chairs on a lot of financial literacy committees. You've had other works in the financial field. Can you let us know more about that?
Yeah, so my background is in finance. I started in one of the major 5 banks 20 something years ago. I won't date myself too much, but it was quite a while ago. And just kind of working my way through the realms. I did a lot of national traveling when I was with that bank. I had about 3,000 mortgage brokers that I had to lead, and
Right.
really fun and interesting. And I learned a lot, and that helped propel my career to go to different mortgage lenders in the industry. And then before I left the corporate world and joined the entrepreneurship space, which is the space that I love, I was a regional vice president at a mortgage company, and then I had this little one here, and she kind of just changed the whole trajectory of my life and really what I valued and what I really found important in raising her. And
Yeah.
and so I became a mortgage broker because I was already in the field of mortgages as a lender, and so that was really interesting, a big jump. But in the midst of doing that, I have also done other things where I've launched my own app
Mhm.
years ago. So this is before like apps were super popular.
Amazing.
App. It was on both iOS and Android, and this was like at least 7 years ago, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was a baby. And so I've always loved the entrepreneurship space. And really helping other entrepreneurs. And while doing all of that, I also, my passion has always been helping to help educate people learning financial literacy. And so I've chaired financial literacy committees, um, but I've always taught it to young adults, like young adults and teenagers. So I've gone into high schools and taught financial literacy and in at-risk communities and to young adults. And I remember one time I called this high school to say, hey, can I come in and teach a financial literacy seminar? And it took me a while to get the principal on the line. And when the principal finally came on the line, and I explained to her, I wanted to come do a financial literacy seminar. And she said to me, most of the kids that go to this school are all on financial assistance. They don't need to know anything about financial literacy.
Wow.
And I was so flabbergasted because I was like, this is why we have a systemic issue when it comes to financial literacy and when it comes to disadvantaged kids and teens and young adults, that the trend carries forward, right? It's generational. And if you're not taught in schools, and if the school doesn't see value in it, well, then the problem just persists, and people develop unhealthy relationships.
That is true.
Financial literacy. And so that really hit home for me and I was like, how could she say that? like those kids then are the exact reason why they should be taught financial literacy. And so that really, really helped propel me more into the world of financial literacy for kids and just developing it for my kids and other people's kids around the globe. That I just like financial literacy to me. And Alan Greenspan has a great quote, and I always like to quote this quote, but if people learned financial literacy, it would help solve most of the world's problems. And it really is true. And so my goal is to help as many people, as many kids, grow up having a healthy relationship towards financial literacy, towards their finances, so that as they get older, they're going to have a super successful career in whatever it is that they choose to do. So
I'm so shocked at that principle.
Right?
I can tell you, without revealing my age as well, I can tell you that financial literacy at the high school stage is something I regretted not having. Right? So
right? Like it just wasn't taught. And then
exactly.
if you learn, it was, it was, you learned it and maybe then you didn't have the most healthy relationship towards it because you didn't understand the constructs of it and what was important and what was not important and what to do and what not to do, because you get to university and everybody's throwing cards at you and you should get this, and you need an OSAP if you do get OSAP, and you have no clue, right? Because you were never educated in it. And so then that persists and develops into your adulthood, where then you make unhealthy choices and decisions, and then you just overall have an unhealthy relationship towards finances.
That's true. And it's hard to get out of. It's, you really have to work, have the strong mindset to really get yourself out of, that situation.
Yes.
With getting you, once you get yourself into that is.
Exactly it.
So, when working with at-risk communities and high schools all across Toronto with financial literacy, was there any type of problems that you've noticed or identified in terms of their areas of weaknesses in financial literacy?
Well, you know what I found really, really interesting is that a lot of high school kids already had jobs, right? So they already developed a relationship towards finances. I mean, I grew up with always having a job. I've had a job since I was 11 years old. Never not had a job since I was 11. I started out doing the paper route, and I persisted to always having a job since I was 11. So reaching high school, the kids have already developed a relationship towards money, but how they saw their money was just to spend. Hey, I made $200 working at McDonald's. I'm going to buy the latest pair of shoes, right? And so it wasn't a construct of saying to yourself, okay, well, I made $200 and I got to put, $50 away for my savings and $50 away for my education and do this
Yeah.
and do that, right? So I would ask them, okay, how many of you guys have a cell phone? And then guess what? Every hand went up, right? Like it's like, yes, I have a cell phone. I have a cell phone. And I would say, and how many of you have ever seen your cell phone bill? No, you don't. Not one that's activated. And that would be the question. They'd be like, no, my parents pay my bill. Like I've never seen the bill. Like it's a family bill. So I don't know what it is. I don't know how much it is for, right? And I'm like, that is a challenge. You've given your kids the responsibility of having a cell phone, but have never shown them the bill. So you've never shown them how much this is costing the family. And so I think it's really important when you do gift kids with some of these devices and some of these things that we give to them, but to also show them the other side. This is the cost to it. This is how it, out of our budget money for our family, we talk about budgeting on KiddieNomics. Out of the budget for the family, this is going to this. Well, how many of you are in sports activities? Well, how much does it cost for that sports activity? I don't know. I just go. Right? And so it is really important to start having these discussions.
Yeah.
You can't just jump right in. You can't be like, so it's not like, I'm not saying, hey, here's your cell phone bill, pay it, without giving them a background or the tools to understand what does that mean. Starting out with assets versus liabilities, starting out with budgeting, stuff like that, to give them the ground foundation to understand how to do that, right? So, but that was really interesting to me. It was always, I would always ask that question. How many of you guys have a cell phone? Every hand went up. Yeah. How many of you guys have seen your cell phone bill? Maybe one person in the class would say their hand went up. Most of the time, no hand went up.
And it's just so there is more cell phones on Earth than there is of human beings. And this came out, it was a stat that came out in like 2006, around there.
Yeah.
So it's just so amazing. Everyone has a cell phone.
Everybody has a cell phone, right? Everybody has a cell phone, but not everybody's seeing their cell phone bill.
Exactly. So, KiddieNomics, how did it actually start? How did you and your daughter say, you know what, let's do this, and because other kids need to be empowered about their financial literacy, and let's just share the wealth. How did you both decide to create this business?
Well, it started years ago for us. For me, showing the importance to her about financial literacy. And so it's a really quick story, but I'll tell you how we kind of started. She was turning 5, and I asked her what she wanted to be that year for her birthday. And her birthday's around Halloween, so she usually had a costume birthday party. And she said, I want to be Doc McStuffins, Princess Tiana, and Doc McStuffins, and Dora the Explorer. And I said, well, that's a lot of things to be for one birthday, right? And she said, well, Mommy, you told me I can be anything that I want to be, right? And I was like, yes, but I didn't mean it in that way. But of course, kids take things very literal. Yeah. So I said to her, well, instead of just being a princess, how about you own a piece of Disney? And she was like, well, what does that mean? And I was like, well, let's buy stock in Disney for you. And she's like, oh, great. So I can get all the toys I want. And I was like, no. Trying to explain stocks to a 5-year-old, right? And so we did buy stocks for her birthday. And so she's held stock in Disney for years. I hope on her behalf. But that helped us then say, okay, well, you know what? This was a really good teaching lesson. I said, you know what? Let's write a book about, helping kids learn how to save and invest their money. So we wrote a children's book called I Will Own a Castle. And that was published in 2017. Published that book in 2017. And that was a great experience for us. And then I said, okay, well, you know what? Let's, what else can we do to help kids learn financial literacy skills? And so we decided to do a YouTube channel. So we launched KiddieNomics in 2018, December 2018.
Mhm.
Posted a few videos, but it was in a very, very different format as to how we have it right now. And so the thing was, when the pandemic hit, we had stopped doing the videos because it just wasn't feasible for us. And so
Mhm.
we're trying to find different ways to, really help kids and get financial literacy for kids out there and the importance of it. And so when the pandemic hit, I was like, well, hey, kids are home. And now they're used to using Zoom. And now they
Yeah.
understand like how to sit in front of a laptop and learn. So then we started our weekly. So we started in May 8th of 2020.
Mhm.
We started our weekly session. So it's every Friday. Now it's at 5 p.m. It wasn't at 5 p.m. when we first launched. It was at 11 a.m. because
Yeah.
nothing was on at that time, and it was great. Um, and now it's every single Friday at 5 p.m. And we have been so blessed with our KiddieNomics community. We have kids that join us from all over the world
Amazing.
that have joined us for KiddieNomics. And, our community has really, really grown, and it has shown not just kids, but the adults about how important kids want to take action. They want to take the responsibility. They want to take the power. And so they so feel empowered, learning about what they think are adult topics, and they have thrived so much in our KiddieNomics community. They ask the most insightful questions every single week. Yeah, we're so proud of them.
Amazing. Well, I'm so glad you've made it this far on your journey. Your audience is building on YouTube, as I can tell. And that is where you have the webinar Fridays, the financial webinar
Yes,
Friday,
we
financial
call it
literacy
Economic
Friday.
Financial Literacy Friday.
And I love it. I absolutely love it. Um, so I'm gonna have my producer. You mentioned the book. I'm gonna have my producer put it on the screen right now.
Oh yeah, that's our book. That's it.
How did the book itself? How did it come about, and what made you decide to write a book?
Well, as I said, I was teaching her about stocks, and I was like, you know what, this is a really important lesson to learn, like how to teach a child to save, a small amount of money to make it into and towards something that's really big, right?
Hmm.
And while teaching her, you know what, you can be more than just a princess. You can own that castle. You can own what you want. And I really wanted her to feel empowered that way, to say, hey, like, I don't just go to Disney or watch Disney. I own a piece of Disney. Like, I really strive to teach kids the importance of ownership.
Yeah.
And so that's really how the book came about. And the title was so easy for us, I Will Own a Castle, because it was like, well, what kid really owns a castle? And then so kids would come in like, can I really own a castle for $25? Because that's the cost in the book. It's $25. Yes, it's $25. Well, you start out at $25, and then things happen, and then
Yeah.
but kids have asked, can I really own a castle at $25? Because I have $25. I want to buy my castle. And but it was funny because kids got the concept of, I can start something small to buy something big, to save towards a really big item that will help me in the future. So whether or not that's your education, whether or not
Hmm.
that's your own business, whether or not that's to buy your first house, you know, just the importance of starting small to then, little pieces at a time. And then the book shows you that things are going to happen. Like a tornado comes and knocks down the castle, and, stuff happens, right? But never to give up and keep on saving,
Keep
because,
going. Amazing.
yeah,
It's the empowerment behind it is what I love the most. I
yeah.
remember my son, he's 10 years old, same age as your daughter.
Oh, that's,
Um, when he was younger, he said, I want to be a construction worker just like my dad.
yes,
And I was like, or you can, own a construction company and hire workers to do the job. He's like, I can do that? And his eyes just like lit up, like the opportunities.
And that's the phenomenal part. Like when we show kids, there's so many more options out there than what
Yeah,
they only see, like the stereotypical roles that they want to show our kids, especially minority kids. And so that is actually one of the things for KiddieNomics. Speaking about that is showing kids the different possibilities of what you can be. So if you check out, like we go live every Friday. So we go live every Friday on Zoom, and then we upload that video onto YouTube so everybody can watch the video back if you weren't able to join the live session. And
hmm
we have guest experts, anything from politics, like we've had Marcy Ian on from the formerly of
hmm
the social. We've had Dr. Jill Andrews on. We've had like you name it. Like we've had, we talk about, of course, stocks and investing and saving and budgeting. Um, but the thing is that I show kids, we've had lawyers, we've had accountants, we've had our first show back on September 10th, we're going to talk about opening up your own Shopify account and how
nice.
making money that way. Like we want to show kids there's so many different possibilities. Our last show, I think, on KiddieNomics was how to be a podcaster and how
Nice.
start making money. And the kids were so excited because he was a Nigerian person, and the kids were so excited to see somebody from Nigeria. They were asking him, oh, do you like jollof rice, and what language do you speak, and what part of the region do you come from? Because representation matters.
It
They
does.
want to see people like themselves to know that that is a possibility for them. And
It does, definitely.
I really, really strive to stress that on our platform. Yeah.
Again, I must have said it so many times throughout the show. I just love the concept. I love exactly how it's empowering. I watched a few of the videos, and I heard one of the videos. It says financial literacy. Having financial literacy, you have the power to change the world.
Oh yeah, that's what we always say. We say yes, that's what we always say, and we truly believe that. Like
Yeah,
that, and the kids, the kids laugh at us because like it's like now ingrained in their head, but they're getting the concept of how important it is, no matter what it is that you want to do. So whether or not you want to be an accountant, or you want to be a basketball player, or you want to be a doctor, or you want to be a construction worker, like we've had kids that say, "Hey, I want to do trades," and I was like, "That's amazing!" Like yes,
yeah,
and it was, and it's great because whether or not you want to do trades, or you want to work in a corporate head office, or you want to be the next CEO, financial literacy will do nothing but help you get there, right?
exactly.
And then that will, and whatever it is you choose to do, like I believe the kids on KiddieNomics will really really help change the world. Like you don't know if they're gonna be the next ones to cure cancer, or cure COVID, or cure whatever it is, or like a technology that's gonna really change the face of the world. And but financial literacy will definitely help them get there to achieve that goal.
And even if it's not a type of work job, or a business where that's for profit, for example, you can help kids in another way, like in a nonprofit sector, to help kids in the community and stuff. But it still comes down to financial literacy. You need financial literacy to truly have an impact,
That,
to get to where you need to go.
that's right. And even still, like it's not even just necessarily their career wise, but financial literacy will help change their family's trajectory.
Yeah,
They will help build that generational wealth. And what we like to talk about, what I say about KiddieNomics is it's not just about building generational wealth, which we love to talk about. But if we don't start talking about building generational knowledge, that wealth will slip away. And wealth is
exactly.
very easy to squander within a generation, right? So we need to start building generational knowledge. And so that's why, for us, I feel like KiddieNomics is that bridge that not only shows people how to build generational wealth, but let's start building generational knowledge. Because not just the kids are watching financial KiddieNomics, but I get parents that watch it all the time. Like the adults are watching, the aunties, the uncles, the grandpas, the grandmas. Like we get the adults that are watching, and then they sit down and have a family discussion to say, okay, hey, how do we incorporate what we learned today on KiddieNomics, whether or not we were talking about how to invest in your first property, or we're talking about stocks or whatever it is that we're talking about, if it relates that topic to your family, how do we incorporate that into our family and then build on it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of guests on the Financial Literacy Fridays.
Yes.
So how can everyone just be a part of it?
So it's free. The kids can sign up. It's every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m.
Mhm.
We will be back on September 10th. So our fall season will start. This year we took a summertime break.
Yeah.
We needed a small break this summer, right, Nick? We've been going around the clock. Like, we haven't missed a Friday, really. So we took a summertime break. We'll be back on September 10th. You can find the link to register on our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our YouTube
Mhm.
channel. If you go to our YouTube channel, you click on the video, any video that you want, and you just go down in the description box, you'll see the link to register. So yeah, go ahead and register there.
Amazing. And I think it's something that's wonderful that every parent should get involved with along with their kids. And I think it's just beautiful. I love it.
Thank
Um,
you.
so Mickey, how do you feel to be an entrepreneur?
Good.
Mickey's just waiting. Mickey's all about making money. So she wants her actual first job, and she wants to know when she can start doing the paper route like I did. And I was,
Okay.
it's a little bit different now. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't
Times have changed,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, like when I started, it's not how it is now. And in fact, I don't even see kids doing the paper route. Like, I see adults doing it. So
yeah.
I don't even know if kids can do it anymore.
Well, the dynamics have changed. Everything's online now. Not many people are buying newspapers as they did back then,
Yeah,
and it's just a different world altogether.
different. So we'll have to find her another first job, if the paper route thing doesn't pan out.
I believe my first job was age 15 in telemarketing, doing
Was it?
stuff. Yeah, fun times.
Sometimes. Yes, I remember doing telemarketing for years.
Yes.
Yeah, as a teenager. Yeah, yeah.
So we're about to I'm going to ask one more question before we head on to the game. COVID, how did COVID impact your business? I know a lot of businesses, the KiddieNomics. I know a lot of businesses, struggled during that time. But for you, how did it impact, and what has changed since COVID has started when it comes to your business?
Well, COVID has actually been a blessing for KiddieNomics. I know it's a horrible time, but because the kids were home, it is able to help KiddieNomics really thrive. And so when we started our weekly Fridays, like, we didn't know if we were going to get like one kid on or, and now we have over 600 kids registered for KiddieNomics. We have kids that join us from all around the globe. On our Fridays, they stay up and they wait. And now I have people that message me. They're like, well, can you do it in Pacific time? And can you do it in, I'll get like Middle Eastern. Somebody wanted it in Dubai. Somebody wanted it. And I'm like, okay, so we'll have to figure that out. But KiddieNomics has really thrived throughout the pandemic because the kids were home and because we've kept it on Zoom, that the kids were very familiar with the platform and learning through that platform. It's very easy for them to log on, and they just get a weekly reminder to just click the link and they're in. So it's very easy for them to access it. So for us, KiddieNomics has done very well throughout the pandemic. And now, we're just looking to expand.
Amazing. So I know you've been featured in the Toronto Star. There's been a local newspaper, and also on the Maryland show, I believe.
Yeah, so we've been on the Marilyn Dennis show. We've been featured in the Globe. The Globe and Mail mentioned us. The Toronto Star by Black, which was awesome. I love that article. from by Blacks. The writer is phenomenal.
Amazing.
I love their feature in the Toronto Star too. But yeah, we've been in a few different publications, the Caribbean News paper. So it's been feedback that we've gotten for KiddieNomics, and the reception that we've gotten from the community has been absolutely awesome. But for us, we wouldn't have KiddieNomics without all of the guest experts that come on KiddieNomics week after week, that donate their time, to teach these kids every single week. And so for us, we're just so grateful for the guest experts that come on and just share their knowledge, because they believe in, what we're trying to do with trying to teach kids financial literacy. And so we're grateful for their guest experts, and we're grateful for the kids that have joined the platform and just and has really thrived. So it's really not about Miki and I. It really isn't. It's really more of the community of KiddieNomics and everybody that contributes to KiddieNomics, because so I really feel like we're the least.
But if it wasn't for you and Miki, then KiddieNomics would not have existed. So, it's great to create that space,
Yes, yeah.
I'm gonna check into the comments, and I'm not sure. I think I saw one earlier. Okay, Crystal says, "Nice program, Banki." Okay, thank you. We're gonna go towards the game right now. It's a new game recently started, but basically I give you a scenario, you give a response. You both can join in on it, and the audience can join in if they like, And at the end, I will guess whether or not you're telling the truth, or whether or not you're telling a lie or a confession. Okay, the game starts now. Okay, so tell me about a time where you had to overcome an obstacle before a show starts. The Financial Literacy Friday has started.
Before one of our episodes started. Okay. Overcome. Okay. All right. So we were filming for the Marilyn Dennis show, and I have a 3-year-old, her younger sister, and now she's 4. So let me clarify. Now she's 4. This happened when she was 3. And so we were with Marilyn Dennis. You have to log on like really early. They film early, and we were supposed to be on at a certain time, and it was a school day. And so my daughter thought it was going to be super funny to play a prank on us and hide my cell phone. And so we searched for my cell phone for an hour and a half before I'm supposed to be on the Marilyn Dennis show. Mind you, she's helping me search for a phone that she knew was the entire time. And so she'd be like, "Well, Mommy, come here. Come look over here. Come look over here." And finally, I had to give up. And when she finally saw that I was giving up on this game of pranking Mommy, she finally gave me back the phone, and we were able to get onto the Marilyn Dennis show on time, just by a hair of like 2 minutes to log on. So yes, is that true or false?
She was 10 at the time, or 9?
Not her. It was my daughter that was 3.
Oh, she's the one that hit the phone.
Yes, the 3-year-old.
I said it's true. I believe that's possible.
Yes. Yes. YouTube has all of these like pranking kid videos where they prank.
Yeah, my son tries. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is ruining kids. They need to stop this.
I told him he better not try that.
And this is the funniest thing in the world. And I'm like, So she's into this pranking thing, and she thinks
Mhm.
it's so funny. And yes, and so she hid that phone for a good hour and a half. We tore
Oh
up
my
the
goodness.
whole house. Like I looked everywhere, and the phone was on vibrate, so I couldn't call it. And I was like,
Ah, that's me. My phone's always on vibrate.
yeah, yeah. So that was a good rushed morning. But we made it. We made it. We made it, and we filmed, and that was that was going to be one of our memorable moments that I will always share with her
Yeah,
at the time that
amazing.
happened to me before
I love
marrying.
it.
Yeah.
So before we end, what does the future hold for both of you when it comes to entrepreneurship?
Well, I think for us, like we are just going to continue to expand KiddieNomics.
Mhm.
Um, I really want Michaela to. I'm really proud of Michaela. Let me say this first. Like, I'm so proud of her because she has taken such a liking and commitment and responsibility to be on KiddieNomics, to be like, I never have to fuss with her. She's always on. And, and she really wants to help go into like schools and teach kids financial literacy. So for us, it's just continue to grow the platform and continuing to show kids financial literacy, and hopefully as she gets older, she will actually take over hosting these
Yeah.
kids, and the mommy will fade into the background. And we'll just continue to grow KiddieNomics for kids around the world. Like we love that.
I can tell you, my son, I hired him for my to be a social media assistant for me
Oh
one
yeah,
time,
how's he
and he got the minute he got paid, he quit. I was like, no. He's like, I can buy my video games now.
Yeah, he met his goal, so he met the target. And he's like, I'm done.
So, Mickey, I'm very proud of you. Commitment is everything. So, it was great having you both on the show. The show has come to an end. It was great having you both. How can everyone get in contact with you guys?
You can check us out on any of our social media handles. It's always KiddieNomics. So KiddieNomics on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Message me on Facebook.
And TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
On TikTok. We finally posted one video. I was supposed to do TikToks over the summer, but
like a year ago.
Yeah, but that didn't happen. So yes, we are also on TikTok as KiddieNomics. So you can, or YouTube. So you can find KiddieNomics on any of the social media platforms.
All right, amazing. It was great having you on. I love what you guys are doing. Keep doing it, and just keep me posted whenever you have anything new. I'd love for me and my son to join one of your literacy Fridays, financial Fridays.
Thank you for having us on and sharing the platform with your audience. For us, just always sharing the importance of financial literacy for kids.
Yeah.
People didn't necessarily think that, an 8-year-old needs to learn financial literacy, but I think now people are starting to see the importance of it. So thank you. We would love for your son to join. So if he wants to join, our first day back is September 10th.
Yes.
So Friday, September 10th, we'll be with our first guest that he's success manager at Shopify. So that's going to be fun.
Nice.
And we look forward to having the kids back in September. And thank you so much for sharing the platform, Banki.
No problem. For everyone who's watching, if you like this episode and you want more episodes like this, please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for joining, and see you guys next week, Thursday.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoy our programming and want to help support Black entrepreneurship, please donate today. www.businesstakeout.com/donate.